Okay, so I actually forgot to record the first part of the webinar tonight, so I'm going to quickly catch up the first bit for everyone who needs the recording. Welcome to the recording of Finding Purpose to Fuel Productivity. If you don't know me, my name is Tamryn. I am the founder and CEO of Pharsyde Accounting. I kind of bumbled into business ownership, had a serious trial by fire, and quite honestly emerged rather singed on the other side. I went through 3 rounds of burnout. My last one was very bad, made me stop and reevaluate things. And I came to a rather simple conclusion that working hard will get you nowhere if you are working the wrong way. So I sat down, took a step back, looked at the way things were going, and I rebuilt my business and restructured things in a way that helped me turn around my burnout and create a business that runs without me. And now I help other business owners do the same. And my latest project in that field is the Business Builder. So here we are in the first session. My fellow business owners, are you tired, overworked, and wondering why you are always busy and never getting anywhere? You're spinning your wheels, you're burning your energy, and you're achieving nothing. I have been here. It is exhausting and demoralizing, and you begin to question why the hell you started this business in the first place. Because being employed is a hell of a lot easier than running a business. So when we look at creating a business that does not suck the life out of you, when you're doing coaching with us at Pharsyde, we start by guiding you through 4 P's of business: purpose, process, people, and performance. I consider these the 4 pillars of business because if you don't have all 4 in place and you don't have all 4 equally strong, your roof collapses, as I personally experienced. These are your vital building blocks for a successful, profitable, and sustainable business. And the one we're looking at tonight is purpose. Because even though all 4 are vital to the success of your business, this is the one it starts with. And I shall tell you why. When you have clarity about purpose, when you know who you are, why you are doing something, and what you are hoping to achieve, it clarifies your end goal. It defines the objective you're trying to achieve. It tells you where you are going. Your objective defines what your business does. What service do you offer? What product do you create? Who is it for? So far, your purpose has defined where you are going and what it is you actually do. A service that has a specific planned and known outcome needs to be delivered in a very specific way. So your purpose also dictates how you run your business, right from how your product is created or your service is created, all the way through to how it is marketed, sold, delivered, how you look after your customers, how you treat your staff, how you ensure quality. So your purpose has defined your end goal, what you do, who you do it for, and how you get it done. Your purpose also dictates your company culture, your values, your mission statement, which in turn will affect who you attract and who you hire. And then all of these things, your objective, your what, your how, your who, they create specific milestones and markers for you to track. In other words, measure. So the purpose has affected the other 3 pillars: process, people, performance. Your purpose has dictated your entire business, which makes it really important to be clear on what your purpose is, which is why you're here tonight. So, let's answer the question that you came for. How do you define your purpose? I'm not popping worksheets in the chat for this recording, but I will share them via email for anyone who requests them. We have workbooks that you can work through in your own time. Otherwise, you can make notes while you watch this. How do you find your purpose? It is much simpler than you think, and you only need to answer 2 questions. And do not confuse simple with easy. They are simple questions. They are not so easy to answer. What do you value? Is it honesty, freedom, family, money? What is important to you? There are no wrong answers here. This is your business and your life that you are crafting. So be honest. You do not have to answer these questions for anybody else. You are answering these questions for you. What do you value? Is it honesty, freedom, family? Is it something completely different? And your next question is, what motivates you? What gets you out of bed in the morning? What dream, what picture in your head drives you to do something? Motivations can be so many things. Maybe you want to be a billionaire. You want to see your name on the Forbes Top 40. Or maybe you just want to leave a legacy for your children. Maybe you want to give back to the community that raised you. Maybe you simply want to give your mom the life she couldn't give herself. What drives you? What is it that will make you leap out of bed in the morning? And when you answer your motivation question, be sure you understand why. Because the motivation that you come up with the first time might not actually be the one that's pushing you. We need to understand why something drives us in order to be successful at attaining it. If you want to be a millionaire, why? Is it simply because you want a luxurious life? Maybe it is. That's simple. And the motivation can be simple, or it can be more complex, because maybe someone influenced you to believe that being a millionaire is success. Or maybe you want to be a millionaire to pay for your children's education. And again, there are no wrong answers here. You do not have to impress anybody. You do not have to share this with anybody. You need to understand what drives you. Because this motivation, this is the thing that makes us get up early when we went to bed late. This is what helps us to hang in there when things are going tough. And they go tough when you are running a business. This motivation is what gives you the resilience you need as a business owner. So you need to understand what keeps you motivated. And it can be simple. Like I said, money, pay for your child's education. Or complex, you want multiple streams of income because you want to diversify your risk. You don't want to be reliant on one thing. It can be practical, or it can be spiritual. You simply just want to live a comfortable life, practical. Or maybe you want to provide a solution to people's loneliness. It can be personal, or it can be world-changing. You might just want to provide for your kids, or maybe you want to change the world and make it a better place. It doesn't matter what it is. What matters is that you know what it is and you understand why it drives you. So do not do this exercise too quickly. Spend time being very, very honest with yourself. Who are you? What is important to you? What do you want from life? And what drives you? And now we have to work out how you use that knowledge. Because knowledge is only powerful when it is actually used. So how do you take your reason for living and create a business with it? We ask more questions. So, what do you want your life to look like in order to live out your values? What sort of life do you need to be living to meet your motivations and feel like you're achieving something worth living for? Big questions, simple questions with big answers. So don't rush them. What do you want your life to look like? And what does your business need to look like to achieve that life? What business, how is it structured? What is its turnover? How many staff members will you have? What products do you offer? How do you serve your clients? And then, what problem can that business solve that is aligned with your values, your motivations, and your personal aspirations? Because finding your business purpose is all about solving a problem. A successful business solves a problem that someone else couldn't solve for themselves. That is why they spend their hard-earned money on your product. We all work hard for our money. We do not separate from it easily. We spend it on something that makes our lives better. So your purpose doesn't have to be grand. It doesn't have to be life-changing or world-changing. It just needs to be honest. It needs to align with who you are and what you value. It needs to be motivational because it needs to excite you so that you push through those hard times. And it needs to solve that problem so you actually have customers. And it's important to be clear on the fact that your purpose does not have to be deep and spiritual and life-changing. It can be, but it doesn't have to be. Because your business might be in something very practical, like socks. If you sell socks for a living, it's very difficult to come up with a grand esoteric purpose. But if you want to look after your family and do a little bit of good in the world, selling socks is perfect. Because you're keeping feet warm. Isn't that good enough? And there are multiple ways to weave your purpose and your motivations into your business. For example, I'm actually going to go back here. Oh. When I went through my burnout phase and I had to relook at everything, one of the things that was very real to me, I was very aware of, was the fact that money is not high up on my value list. I wasn't raised to value money. We weren't materialistic. You obviously, you want enough to live, and we all like to have nice things, but it wasn't something we value highly. Far more, my family values family and freedom and honesty. And yet, I somehow ended up being an accountant, which is an entire industry revolving around money. It's what I do. I manage other people's money. I help them make more money. I help them hang on to more money. So when I was now having a bit of I can't say midlife because I wasn't old enough, so just crisis, just a life crisis, I was going, well, what now? I've built an entire career which was doing really badly, all around something I didn't value. And luckily, there were multiple things happening at the same time. So I didn't just shut down and walk away, which is probably what I would have done. If you are, by the way, going through any form of burnout yourself right now, be careful that you do not make big decisions while you are burnt out. because it's very easy to just throw in the towel. But luckily I had, at the same time that I was going, well, why am I doing this? I actually had a whole bunch of clients send me thank yous. Thank you for sorting that out. I don't know what I would have done without you. Thank you that, that you did our tax return and we got a refund and we needed that cash right then. Thank you for this, thank you for that. And I realized I do so much more than manage a client's money. I give them peace of mind. Pharsyde accounting takes care of things for people that you hate doing. Bookkeeping and accounting is not the first love of very many people. Most people hate it. So not having to do it improves your day dramatically. And knowing that it's being done well, and knowing that your cash flow is healthy, and knowing that your taxes are done, makes you sleep well at night. And then there's also the added benefit of the fact that a healthy business, if I've helped you create a healthy business, you'll be employing people. You'll be looking after your family. You'll be looking after those families. So I didn't have to change what I did to align with my values, to align with my purpose. I had to have a mind shift about how I saw it and how I wanted to provide that service to align with my values. So you don't have to have a big world-changing change, purpose, grand and wonderful. You just need to know how you feel about your business and what you want to achieve in that business. Well, another way, actually, wait, let's come back here. Another way to weave purpose into your business, especially let's look at something like socks, because as I say, socks will keep your feet warm. So it's still a good thing. You're still doing good in the world. And if you sell novelty socks, you're helping people be creative and individualistic. So, it's not just about the socks. But if it's not that easy for you, if you feel like what you're doing and what you sell, you can't find that purpose in it, then instead of trying to align your service, align your profits. Because another thing that we do in the Pharsyde group is we are a member of an organization called B1G1. And you don't have to be a member of B1G1 to do this. But it is an international organization that is linked to multiple NGOs in the world. And what it does is it enables you to set up rules, giving rules, so that every time something happens in your business, you can do good in the world. For example, we donate meals in South Africa for every invoice we generate. We donate 5 meals for every invoice that we generate. Every time we file a tax return, we give 1 day's worth of clean water to a village somewhere in the world. Every time we do a set of annual financial statements, we provide education to some underprivileged child in the world. So you don't have to actually change what you're doing. You can link it to a value that you have. You can link it to your purpose. You can go find a charity, an organization, even your local community, and say, every time my business reaches a milestone, every time I sell this product, I am going to give back to this thing because it means something to me. And that will motivate you as well to do things in a different way and to weave your purpose into what you're doing, even if what you're doing seems unrelated to who you are. So that is another way to do it as well. Once you have established your purpose, once you know what you want your life and your business to look like, you have another problem though, because you're not there. You're here. You know where you are. And you know where you want to be. So how do you connect the two? How do we bridge where we are and where we want to be? How do we join these two? With a plan. we work backwards. So you go, this is where I want to be. This is what my life should look like. And you work backwards in time, creating milestones and markers that help you to work towards that final vision. And your final vision might take years. It might take 5, 10, 15 more years, but you work to it 1 year at a time. One step at a time, you can take yourself closer to that life that you've envisioned for yourself, that end goal that you want to achieve. And I'm actually going to break here just quickly, sorry, because today is the builder, about the builder, and part of why we've got the builder is because it's there to help you with this exact thing. It's there to help you go from where you are to where you're going to be. And most of you today are members. This is your very first session. So I just want to quickly show you the platform. So when you log in for your first time, this is where you'll be. And there's this little video here which will help you find your way around the platform. So if you don't remember anything I just say to you now, that's okay. You can come watch this video and you'll be fine. But as part of the builder, you've got contact with experts, international experts from across the world. So we've tried to group them for you in categories, but I've also put them all here in one place. And we are constantly adding to this list. And as it is, I've got a whole bunch that are waiting for their profiles to be created. So this will constantly grow over the next couple of days and next couple of weeks. And if you have a problem or you're not sure what to do next in your business, you can always come here and read the profiles, here's mine, of these people. And see there's their bios, our company details. You can click on the links and contact people. And then the really cool part is that these experts and some of our company partners have provided free resources for you. So if you come to the resource section, you have a whole bunch of free things. So you can actually come here first and see what is being offered to you. For example, we have this wonderful monthly workshop with Christine Campbell-Rapin. And Christine is an outstanding business coach from Canada. She's an MBA holder. She has 25 years of experience in helping people build businesses that are profitable and sustainable. And she runs a free workshop every single month on a different topic. So you can come here, click the link, and join her workshop and learn from her in the month. You can get a website guide from Story Advantage telling you what the top 5 things your website should include. If you are wondering, because I mentioned it earlier, if you are burnt out, come here and do the Pharsyde burnout quiz and see if you are burning out or just stressed. So there are resources here, and again, I have a whole bunch waiting to be created and added to the portal, and we will keep adding them all the time. And then we have the special member offers. So if you have a problem, again, come here first and come see if you can get your problem solved at a discount or with a bonus or possibly for free, like this consultation from BizHQ. So Coach Greg Mason offers a free 1-hour consultation to any business member and business builder member, and he helps you find clarity and helps you create this plan, create these steps that we were just talking about from where you are to where you want to be. So you can go chat to him for an hour for free as part of your membership. And then we have the Knowledge Vault, which is some do-it-yourself, learn-as-you-go training that you can come and do at your own pace, in your own time. And there's business basics, building a team, your numbers, sales and marketing, productivity and time management, mental health, personal growth and development. So if there is something that you are battling with right now, and when you are creating this plan of how you go from where you are to where you need to be, come here, go through the resources, see what we have available for you so that you can learn the things you need to know to create that plan and to put it into action. And of course, we have the weekly training. You're at one right now, so you know how that works. But there's the training every week. There's me right now. Next week, we have Linda Dent. That's going to be really awesome. Linda has 35 years of business experience. She used to work as a commercial banker, and she used to process loans for small businesses. So Linda is really, really good at telling you how to set up things to be sustainable, profitable, and viable, because she's seen business after business after business do things the right way and the wrong way. And she, of course, has done it herself as well. So she's going to be your trainer next week. I hope you've got that booked into your calendar, because I promise you do not want to miss that one. And then the wonderful Christine that I mentioned earlier is joining us in the third week of the month, and she's doing the 4 essential foundations for successful business, for a successful business. So that is going to be truly amazing as well. And then don't forget that we have the monthly implementation forum that is included in your membership as well. This explains to you how to access it and how it works, but really it's because, as I said earlier, knowledge is only powerful if you use it. And I've seen the problem over and over and over again. I've seen this with business owners. I've seen it with myself. I have probably over easily 5,000 free resources sitting on my computer right now, half of which I have never even opened, never mind finished or used. They're just sitting there. So we developed the implementation forum so that you can come, we're encouraging you. So from today, what I'm hoping for, you're going to go away from the session and you're going to start implementing. You're going to start on that workbook. You're going to start answering those questions. And every time you hit a challenge, every time you hit a snag and you go, oh my gosh, I don't know how to do this. How did you do this? You send me an email. You go, this is the challenge I have. This is the problem I have. And you're going to come back at the end of the month and we're going to answer those questions. We're going to deal with everybody's questions and we're going to tell you how to overcome those problems, how to overcome those hurdles that you're having. And all the trainers come back for that. So you will see all 3 of us at the implementation forum, and we will help you implement the training. We will help you actually make it happen in your business. So that's the part I'm most excited about. So those of you that are joining us as business members, which I think is most of you actually today, I hope you're as excited as I am that this is your membership and this is what you're getting. But let me go back to the training, because obviously I'm excited. I hope you're excited. And the whole point of the builder is help you to do this, to go from where you are to where you want to be. Okay. Skip that one. So to make that plan, to make this concrete plan, you need to ask another set of questions. Now, I'm not going to go into these questions in a huge amount of detail because next week, as I mentioned, Linda Dent is coming. And she actually helps with this exact portion of the business planning part, is asking the questions. So I'm just going to list them for you quickly. But when you come next week, you're going to get a lot more detail about how you create your business plan. How do you create that plan that takes you from A to B? So what does your business need to look like in 1 year's time? Because remember, it might take you 15 years to build your ultimate vision, but you're going to be doing it 1 year at a time. In fact, we're going to go all the way down to 1 week at a time later on. But right now, you've got to look at one day, 1 year. What does your business need to look like in 1 year's time to achieve the vision of 5 years or 10 years or 15 years? What has to happen? Do you have to be achieving a specific turnover? Do you need a specific profit? Does your team need to be a specific size, or do you need specific skill sets? Then what has to happen in order for it to look like that? I mean, if you want to increase the turnover, you might need to increase your sales. If you want to increase profit, you might need to both increase your income and decrease your expenses. If you need a team, you're going to need to recruit. If you want skills in your team, you're going to need to train. So what has to happen? And how? How does that happen? Now, if I want my team to have a specific skill set and I've got to train them, am I going to train them myself? Am I going to bring in an external trainer, or am I going to send them on courses? How do you make these things happen? How do you increase your sales? Are you going to bring in a new marketing company or hire a salesman? And then how do you track the progress of these things? If you are upskilling your staff and you need to train them, how do you know that they're actually increasing their skills? Are you going to track how many exams they've passed, or do you want to track how much new information they've implemented? How do you track whether your income is going up, or whether you're going to reach a specific turnover? You need to know how many sales you're doing, and if you're on track to meet your total sales target for the year. So what does your business need to look like? What has to happen in order for it to look like that? How is it going to happen? And how do you track the progress of these things? How do you know that you're actually being successful in moving closer and closer to that goal for the year? So in the workbook, you'll find this action planner. So you're going to take all the answers from those questions, and you're going to create projects in your business, big projects, big goals, preferably quarterly goals, things that you think that you can achieve in a 3-month period. And for each quarterly goal, you're going to do an action planner with your steps, how you're tracking them, when you're hoping to be done by, how you know you're done, what's the end goal, and which quarter you're working in. For example, I had an action planner to create a business builder. You know, I had to do things like find trainers, plan my own training sessions, to fill the knowledge vault. I had to create a website. I had to create the website before we filled the knowledge vault. You know, so certain things obviously hinge on other things. So, and some of these things have dates, some of them don't. I wanted to launch in March. And of course, I didn't have to do each task, but I need to know what the tasks are in order to delegate them and in order to track their success. So do yourself an action planner per every big project that you want to implement in order to achieve your goal for the year. But when you select your goals and your big projects, and when you decide on what your year end needs to look like, I do need to make you aware that psychologists have proven that human beings cannot effectively focus on more than 3 big things at the same time. If you try, you will fail, because what happens is you are spreading your focus. You know, I said earlier, I can't multitask at all. But if you try to multitask and you go beyond 3 big things, you have spread your brain too thin. You have split it across too many things. And the problem with that is that you're not doing any of them properly. So you need to be careful when you're creating your plan and you're creating your projects, that you are never working on more than 3 big things. So there'll be lots of little things underneath that. That's okay. But 3 big things at the same time. So either you need to change your goals, so you realize that, oops, okay, I had too many big projects for a year. This might take 2 years. That's okay. Or if you have a team, if you're lucky enough to have a team, you can make team members project managers as well and give them 3 big goals. But make sure that no one person in your organization is in charge of more than 3 big things at a time, because it'll spread them too thin and nothing will actually get done. Or at least it won't get done properly. Okay. Now you have your year's plan, your year's goal, your quarter plans and your quarterly goals. How are we going to use this knowledge, which is why you came today? How are you going to use this knowledge to be productive in your week? How do you know that you're not just going to spin your wheels being busy and none of these things are actually going to happen? So I'm going to share a planning technique with you that literally changed my life. It completely revolutionized the way I approach my work. And when I use it, and I say when because I am human and I often fall back into bad habits, but when I use it, my productivity levels soar. And I need to emphasize this is not my technique. I did not create this. I received it from another business coach, and he in turn actually received it from the originator, who was an American billionaire who wanted to pay something forward. He had personal reasons for wanting to share this for free, but he shared his productivity technique that literally helped him build a billion-dollar empire. And because he gave it away for free, the coach I got it from, he gives it away for free. And so I give it away for free. So every time we do a talk like this that's free, or if you have a free training session with me, a free consult because you're feeling overwhelmed, guess what I give you? This technique. I like to use pen and paper. I find that I think better when I do than when I'm typing, but I have included the template in your workbook. So if you do want to go digital, you can. There is a digital option for you. But if, like me, you are going to choose the paper route, then every Sunday, get yourself a clean sheet of paper. Every Sunday evening, sit down, and at the top of the paper, you're going to write out your purpose. So earlier, we went through all the questions that helped you define what your values are, what your motivations are, and you linked that to what your business is going to do, the outcome that you want to achieve. You write that down at the top of your page. For me, it's I want to prevent burnout in every single person that my company deals with. That is my ultimate purpose for my business. So you write out your purpose at the top of your page. I suppose it helps if I actually do that. Okay, underneath the purpose, you're going to write those 3 big goals, your 3 big projects that you're wanting to achieve this quarter, and obviously this month because it falls into that quarter. And you have now a weekly opportunity to check and be sure that your 3 big projects are in line with your purpose and your values. Because every time you write them out, you can look at the 4 of them together and go, do these match? Yes, they do. I'm on the right track. And if you want to, you can also add the date, the week that you are working on. Because if you are the type of person who likes to look backwards in time, which I do recommend, by the way, when you look backwards in time and you see how far you've come and you see how you've achieved things, it really is very encouraging. So if you do want to store these and actually file them and keep them, put the week, put the dates on that you are busy with. Then you are going to draw 4 quadrants on that page, divided into 4. And you are going to open whatever it is that you use to manage your to-do list. Whether it's also pen and paper or lots of post-it notes, I don't know. Maybe it's a task management software. Open that up and you're going to begin sorting your tasks for that coming week. And you start by allocating each quadrant a project. Okay. So your 3 big projects for the quarter, for the month, go into the top 3 quadrants. And you're going to go through all of your tasks for the week that are coming up. And any task allocated or associated with a project goes into that quadrant. So if one of our projects for the quarter is to increase our sales or to improve our marketing, then if you have to meet with a marketing consultant or you're going to create your marketing strategy, those will go in your marketing quadrant. If you are still looking at upskilling your team, then finding the right trainer or the right courses or following up with your staff to see if they've done their latest course, that goes in the training quadrant. So you're going to do this with every single to-do that you have allocated to this coming week. You're going to put them in the quadrants. And all the tasks that are left over, the tasks that are not related to your big projects, these are going to be your operational tasks, your day-to-day tasks. They go in the devil's vortex. It's called the vortex because your operational tasks, as important as they are, and I know they need to happen, you have to answer emails, you have to file your tax returns, you have to phone those clients back. I know these things need to happen, but these tasks are linked to the operations of your business, not the future of your business. And as business owners, we should be focused on the tasks that move our business forward. We shouldn't actually be involved in the day-to-day operations. Now that's, of course, easier said than done, especially if you're a solopreneur. And even if you have a partner or you only have that partner and no team, it's really easy to say, oh, well, you shouldn't be doing the operations. Well, then who's going to? And of course, the billionaire who shared this planning technique, well, he had an entire company of personnel to fob them off on. And we aren't billionaires. Well, not yet anyway, maybe one day. So there are 3 things that you need to do with your vortex task as a normal human being who's not a billionaire. You can delegate them to a team member. So those of you that have teams, have team members, delegate as far as you can according to capacity and capability. Okay. If you have a tiny team or no team because it's just you, well, then delegation is not possible. So your next option is outsourcing. Find a trusted provider that you know will do a good job, that you know will do it your way, and outsource those tasks. If you need more info about outsourcing, as a member of the Business Builder, you have access to, in the Knowledge Vault, an ebook called Work Less and Earn More. And in it, I take you through the steps of creating an outsourcing system that will work, where you do not have to worry that you're doing it wrong. So if you follow the steps in that book, you will be able to outsource without worrying that you're going to get a bad result. Okay. But some of you are both a solopreneur and your cash is tight. So no team and outsourcing is not easy. You're going to schedule your vortex tasks. You don't let them control your day. You set allocated, restricted times for these tasks. For example, checking emails only twice a day, from 9 to 9:30 or 3 to 3:30, or block out time, like Tuesday morning for an hour. When I first started using this technique, I actually employed a mixture of these 3 steps. So I had a small team and I gave what I could to who I could. So if they were capable of doing something, I gave it to them. I had some outsourced providers that I trusted. I gave them some more. And what was left over that I had to do myself, I just blocked out periods of time for. So I would, Tuesday morning, 7:30 to 12:30, or Thursday afternoon, 1:30 to 6:30. That's vortex tasks. The rest of my time, I allocated to projects, the vital goals that move your business forward. And to be honest, I'm not even as structured as that. I am not type A. Scheduling my day to the minute does not happen. And even if I do decide I'm going to schedule, I don't stick to it. So I never actually schedule specific times for things because I'm going to fail at that. So instead, what I do is I give myself time goals. I'll say, all right, so I have X amount of vortex work this week. I'm only going to do 1 hour of vortex a day or 2 hours a day, whatever, however many you're sitting with, these operational tasks that have to happen and no one else can do. You go, I'm only going to spend that amount of time. And I set my timer, and when 2 hours is up, I shut it down and I go back to my projects, the things that are actually, first of all, fun, because, that's what we're passionate about. And secondly, they're the things that take you forward. They move your business forward. If you take the scheduling approach, you have to be really strict with both yourself and other people. You can't let those tasks dictate your day. If they are time sensitive, schedule them in such a way that you meet the deadlines, but don't allow them to sidetrack you from the things that are important. Don't let them take away from the time you have allocated to the important things. You do them within their stipulated hours and refuse to look at them otherwise. And if you're planning your week ahead, you can actually do this. Now, I know there's things that pop out of the blue, and especially when there's lots of firefighting happening. That tends to happen in the early stages of a team. When you just start trying to build a team, even if it's an outsourced team, you do tend to have quite a bit of firefighting to do, because things aren't maybe going the way they should. They haven't been done the way you would have done them, things like that. So you have a lot of fires that pop up that need putting out. And I know that happens. But when those fires pop up, the thing you have to ask yourself is this urgent for me, or is it urgent for my client? Whose urgency is it? Because it might not be as urgent as it feels for the client. It might not be as urgent as it feels for you. So be careful that you don't let something that feels urgent, because there's a lot of emotion surrounding it, overtake what is actually important. So do ask yourself, when those fires pop up, is this important? Do I actually have to do it now? I know this person is panicking, but does it have to happen now? Can we solve it tomorrow morning and their problem is still solved without any repercussions? Ask that first before you put down what you're doing and leap into the firefighting. And if you do have a huge amount of vortex tasks, because I know that happens as well, especially as a solopreneur, especially in the beginning, you're still building your business, there are a lot of things that you have to do. Then don't feel bad. If your vortex hours are 6-7 hours a day, that's fine. It's fine. It's not like you're failing because you're spending the majority of your time in the vortex. Just make sure you have allocated time to the projects. You have given time to the things that take your company forward. I know a lady who couldn't give her business more than an hour a day. She was actually working full-time. She was starting up a side hustle. She was in the process of getting married. She was going to inherit 2 kids. She did not have the time to start up a full-time business. She couldn't do it. She could give it 1 hour a day. That is what she allocated it. That 1 hour had phenomenal results for her because it was focused, because she focused on the tasks that moved the business forward. So she got results. Focused time will do more for you than hard work. You can sit there spinning your wheels doing thousands of things, but if you're not focused on why, you're not going to move forward. Okay. So even if it's only 20 minutes a day, just make sure you spend that time on the work that takes your business forward, that actually makes it go somewhere, not just run. And that way, when you get to next Sunday and you look back on the week, you're going to feel a tremendous sense of achievement, I promise you, because you're going to look at what you achieved in the week and you're going to go, I actually produced something. I moved forward. I am closer to that goal. I am closer to being where I actually wanted to be. If you focus on those things, I promise you it works. Every time I've employed this technique, I have phenomenal levels of productivity. I miss a week, I get bogged down immediately. I'm putting out fires, I'm doing silly details. It have nothing to do with me. I'm spending my whole week busy and achieving nothing. So give it a try. You have nothing to lose. Okay. Summary: your values dictate your purpose. Your purpose dictates your goals, and you can use your goals to govern your productivity. So I encourage you to work through that workbook. Let's just pop it back in the chat. I can't find it. Work through the workbook in the week, in the month. Send me your questions for the implementation forum and start getting control of what you're doing. Start focusing your efforts instead of spinning your wheels, doing everything. Do what is important. Okay. And take time to answer the questions. They're simple, as I said, they're simple questions, but they have big answers, really, really big answers. So don't rush them, do them properly. And that is our training. Oh, yes. Oh, Business Builder. So I think most of you here today are members. Welcome. I hope that you see the value that you're getting out of this membership. I really hope you're as excited as I am. Quick overview, you're getting the weekly training, you're getting monthly implementation, you're getting access to the experts and their resources, knowledge vaults, member deals, and the private Facebook group, which I completely forgot to mention, but private Facebook group, which is not just a gimmick for the membership, we actually are putting extra stuff in there that is for members only on a regular basis. And all of this is for $55 a month. So it's really tremendous value. We tried really, really hard to make this as accessible as possible. I mean, in total, I think we're sitting at about $15,000 worth of value that you're getting for $55 a month. For those of you that are members today, you either did the early bird special of $25 a month, or you are lucky enough to be a Pharsyde Accounting Grow or Thrive client, in which case you are here for free. Aren't you happy? So welcome. But today, if you are visiting and you are not a member, I do have this little special that is on the screen right now. So if you sign up before midnight tomorrow, using the coupon code PICME, you can get the builder for $25 a month. We have no contracts, so you can cancel at any point in time. We are continuously adding more value, everything we can. In fact, I am busy at the moment trying to put together some workshops that will be added as well. And there is a lifetime price. So if you join us at $25 a month, you will pay $25 forever, no matter how much value we add and no matter how long you are a member. And if you try for 30 days and you hate it, we'll give you your money back. So you can actually try for free if you don't enjoy it. If you feel that there's no value, we will get you your cash back. As I say, that is the Pick Me coupon. I have a link. Yes, here we go. That I'll pop in the chat. And you can use that if you want. And then I think we'll go to Q&A. If you do have any questions otherwise, you are very welcome to contact me. Please, especially if you are going to be attending our implementation training, then do send your questions through regarding what we've done today. When you're doing your workbook and anything that you're battling with related to it, drop me the email. We'll deal with them in the implementation forum. If you aren't a member and you want some help, you are welcome to give me a shout as well. I do a free 20-minute consult, so we can solve most things in 20 minutes if we talk fast. So you're very welcome to give me a shout if you need help with anything. And then let's go to Q&A. So I think actually for Q&A, switch back to everybody's faces. Okay. Is everybody there? Whoop, too close. All right. So that was your first training session in the Builder. Let me see if there are questions in the chat. If you have any, please pop them in while I am busy doing this. You're also welcome to just take yourself off mute and ask it. I'm trying to read fast. Natalie, it's a pleasure. I'm glad you enjoyed the presentation. Lana, if you're in a partnership, should you complete the workbook together? Yes, that's actually a very good question. You know what I would do? The first part of that workbook is very much about you. You know, you need to get a very good understanding of yourself. So I think do that alone. And once you have a very good understanding of you and what you want out of life, then you come together and you answer the questions about the business, because you're going to need to align both of your personal values and your personal motivations with what your business is doing. So I would say you're going to do a little bit of a mix. Rona, it's a pleasure. Dale, it's a pleasure. Lots of thanks. It's a pleasure, Isabel. No questions. No questions? Nothing? I either did a really good job or a very bad job if there's no questions.
Okay, I'm going to ask a question.
Oh, Natalie.
Can you give us some examples
I can't hear you.
of... Can you not hear me?
I don't know why.
Okay, can you hear me now?
Oh, no, I think it's on my side. Hold on. Try again.
Okay. Can you hear me now? Okay, cool. Can you give me an example of, you've got the stuff that sits in the vortex and you've got the stuff that are tasks that move you forward. Now, when you're sitting and working with top projects, what would you put as moving you forward, but maybe kind of operational?
Yeah, I see what you're saying. So especially if because what can happen is, in order to move your business forward, you need to fix your operations.
Yeah, and adjust your systems maybe.
So those are linked to your operations, but the project is actually moving you forward. It's about fixing systems. It's about finding the right people or putting things in place or seeing what you can automate, things like that. So when I talk about your operational tasks, it's not the functionality or fixing the functionality, it's the actual doing. It's the answering an email or creating a proposal. So when you're looking at the project and you're saying, I want to fix my operations, you could say, okay, well, having a proposal template that is really easy to switch things out in. So creating that template could be a project task, but actually doing a proposal for a client, that's an operational task. So.
All right, that makes sense. Thank you very much. I was just a bit confused because I'm wearing all the hats, so I have to like spin it and then it makes me dizzy.
Yep. No, it's hard. Hey, it's very difficult. It's especially, and as you say, like to try and separate those two, because the other thing that's very difficult is that when you are by yourself and you're still building a business, everything feels important, everything feels urgent. And for you, your biggest thing right now is get clients, make money, get clients, make money, get clients, make money. Like that's where your brain is at. You know, you're just going to be spinning around on that, and you need to. So you've got to be able to balance those two things, and then you've got to decide, all right, so is get clients, make money, is that now my project? That's my big project, and I'm going to be focused then on creating the right marketing, building an audience, you know, setting myself up as an authority, making sure I find the right people, actually developing an ideal client profile, because very few people do that as well. And that's what I'm saying, your purpose defines these things, because if you know who you are and what you value, you also know the type of people you want to work with. So it helps you define your client profile, also helps you define how you talk to that client. So when you're doing your marketing, you know what message you're putting out there. You know, I'm not very corporate at all. I didn't last long in the corporate world at all. So I'm not going to work well with corporate people. So my messaging is not, I don't use the jargon. I don't worry about I don't try and pretend that I'm extremely professional. I don't have photos of me in blazers and suits, because we're not going to work well together. It's just not going to happen. So, and that's something I know about yourself. So when you know who you are and what you value, you'll know who you want to work with, you know how to talk to them, you know how to attract them, and all of that defines everything that you're doing. So
that's awesome. Thank you very much. That gave me quite a good direction. Now I can maybe just catch a balance. You get quite hysterical at times, and then you just, need someone to throw in some help.
yes. No, it does get overwhelming, very overwhelming. So as an extra for the people who've hung on for this long, just because I don't think everyone here, Natalie, you're not a member of the builder. So I'm just going to drop in. I probably shouldn't. I should try and make you join the builder. But I have somewhere that, there we go. PDF I mentioned earlier on outsourcing. The work less and earn more. I think there in the chat it's called Using Outsource to Grow, which is my boring name for it. Work less and earn more sounds far more thrilling, much better read. But yeah, you can grab that as a solopreneur. It will help you if you can work towards outsourcing as much as possible.
Thanks, I really appreciate it. Soon I'm going to be super rich, and then I can sign up for everything and pay and swipe and all those things we want to do when we grow up.
Absolutely. That's an absolute pleasure. Are there no more questions? Because if there aren't, I'm not going to keep us all, because I know for some of us it's quite late. For some of us it's actually very early, depends on where in the world you are. But I think I'm going to close off if there's nothing else. Thank you so much for everyone who joined and stuck to the end. I really appreciate it. I hope that you are very excited. Those of you that are Business Builder members, I hope you're really excited to join us and that you really enjoy your time in the membership. And please, all of you, send me your questions, whether you're members or not. Send me your questions about implementing the training, and I will help you via email if I'm not helping you in the forum. Have a really good evening or morning.